by the government. And this will not happen soon, because the police, when they catch somebody from the Boko Haram, they are very brutal treating them, and the population sees this, and they don't like it. So you see that the reaction is not positive towards the government in Abuja. What they will do, they have to try to raise the standard of living of those people, because the North is suffering a lot. There is a huge discrepancy between in the North and the South, in favor of the South. We have all the oil, the industry is located there, the trade, while the North has only they raise cattle and some agriculture, and this is not enough to sustain the large population of the North. So Nigeria is, as you mentioned before, is facing a crisis. Hopefully, the presidential elections will go through smoothly and democratically, and after that they have a long way to work. How to stop Boko Haram, how to please the population in the North, how to save the whole of Nigeria.
Why Nigeria is not given the same attention in fighting the terrorist group Boko Haram like in Iraq, where they are fighting now Daesh?
I think that the West has intervened several times, and they don't want to move anymore unless it is really critical. They were involved in Libya, in Iraq, in Syria, and the population in Europe is against it. They don't want their government to get involved again. But this has to be explained to the European population and the American population that it is in your own interest to intervene, though we might suffer some casualties. We will have more expenses to spend again, and the taxpayer has to bear his share of it. But finally, they have to move. They moved in Mali, in the northern part of Mali, and it was successful. They pushed back the insurgents. Now, with Boko Haram is different. They are hardened people, fighters. They have been doing this for many years now. They know how to do it. As I said, the morale of the army, the Nigerian army, is low. So they have to boost this through foreign intervention in favor of the Nigerian army.
What should be what action should be taken by the African Union Summit, which is going to take place soon? What plans should they take in order to stop the threat of Boko Haram in Africa?
They have to work up a plan of action with all the interested parties, whether they are near Nigeria, surrounding Nigeria, or even other countries. They can send contingents of their military, send some money, do some training, and they need the backup of the Nigerian army. They feel they are lost. They are fighting alone. Nobody cares about them. Okay, Chad is trying to help. They were involved in Central Africa before, and they did a very good job, really. They are hardened soldiers, and they know how to fight, especially in arid areas, desert areas. So it is an opportunity for Africa, through that summit, to work out a plan of action on how to help Nigeria, how to stand by Nigeria, because it is the number one economic power in Africa. They cannot lose it. They cannot afford losing it. Secondly, it's a very the population of Nigeria is almost 180 million, and that's a lot. It represents a high percentage of the total African population. So this is something that you cannot overlook. You have to work out something to help Nigeria.
Why Boko Haram has been and became so strong in Nigeria, where the Nigerian government and its army are unable to find its power in the area?
Because they waited too long. Meanwhile, Boko Haram had its people, getting all the armies they wanted from Libya illegally. Other Muslim countries, renegade countries, I would say, were standing by them, helping them, giving them the advice on how to fight. And then secondly, the division between the North and South. At the North, they feel, as I said, hampered by the economic progress in the South at the expense of the North. It is one entity, it is one one country, Nigeria. It should be treated equally between the two parts of Nigeria. The more we wait, the more Boko Haram gains strength, and we've seen now the attack on the capital of that state in the northeast of Nigeria. And they are getting bolder and bolder. They attacked before Abuja, the capital. And I won't be surprised if they attack the south as well. So there must be a prompt action to be taken immediately.
So do you believe that Nigeria can fall like Yemen fell in the hands of the Houthis?
No, I don't think so. Nigeria will take a much, much longer time to reach that point, and I don't believe it will happen. But at least, the north part of the north will be in the hands of Boko Haram, and we've seen it now. Part of the northeastern side of Nigeria is under their control, and they're still spreading.
Okay, we have the regional alliance, Chad, Cameroon, and Niger fighting Boko Haram. Why Nigeria is not part of this alliance?
No, it's their country. They will be there. We are talking about surrounding countries that come to help Nigeria. So it will be Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon, and Chad. Cameroon was very hesitant to interfere, but now that Boko Haram is interfering in the northern part of Cameroon, this instigated, a kind of movement, in Cameroon, and Paul Biya, the president, decided to take some actions against them, because what they do is that they cross the borders, they attack villages, they abduct people, they burn the whole village, and they leave. And even the army of Cameroon is fighting back. It's doing better than the Nigerian army, but still they cannot defeat them. Those people are convinced that their mission is right. They don't fear anything. They just attack, seize people, and the source of income is increasing.
Do you believe that they are taking help from other armed groups in other countries?
I think so, because don't forget, Algeria had a very strong opposition, Islamic opposition in the past, and they are still there in the south. And again, from Libya, they are backing them, in the name of international jihad. So yes, I believe those people are helping the Boko Haram movement, and we can see that there is a certain progress in their strategies on how to attack and so on.
Okay, we have the African Union and the ECOWAS talked of a regional force to fight Boko Haram, which is the right force in order to fight this terrorist group. How do you think, sir? The African Union and ECOWAS talked of a regional force to fight Boko Haram. What do you think of such a step?
It's a good step, because we need all the help to defeat Boko Haram, which is a very strong opponent now. And as I said, they are increasing their power day after day. And it is high time that those people in African countries, they should interfere very quickly. Otherwise, as I said, the more we wait, the more we'll have problems. And it will be spreading all over West Africa, and maybe after that Central Africa.
Do you believe that the international community is on purpose reluctant to interfere in Nigeria?
No, I don't think that they are doing on purpose, but they have their own calculations on when to attack and when to help, because as I said, they have been, their fingers have been burned before in Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq.
Still they interfered in Iraq again?
Yeah, because the mission is not accomplished yet. And they don't want to open another front in Nigeria, and then this one will take a long time. They know if they start interfering, it will take a long time, and then they will not be able to pull out. America has got its own bases in West Africa, in Niger, and I think in Chad as well. They have their drones, they know where the people are. So in terms of logistics, they are doing a good job, but this is not sufficient. Okay, you say, I have detected those people here, you need somebody to move on. You don't have that factor yet. So America is there, it can help, but I think France is could be the candidate to do something about it. I think England Also, it's an old colony of Britain, Nigeria. They should play their role, both of them, in addition to America and the African Union.
And what do you expect things will happen in the future for this country?
For Nigeria. As I said, number one, the election should take place on time and in a very democratic way. After that, they have to concentrate on defeating Boko Haram, because as long as they have this problem, the economic progress will be hampered. Because their attention will be focused on the military side, and expenses will be flowing into boosting the Nigerian army, and this needs money. So you have to get the elections right, start concentrating your efforts against Boko Haram, and then either in parallel or later on continue the economic progress that has been there in Nigeria for many years now.
Well, Dr. Ali Al-Kuwari, political analyst, thank you for joining us, and welcome once again to Africa Today.
Thank you very much.
Well, this brings us to the end of our show, and even please stay tuned.